Hello? 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 Let's see this. I'm just upload that. Just leave them there. All right, let's get started. Good evening. I'm Diwakar, CEO of LGV Private Limited, and I'm volunteering with Andhra University Incubation Council, AHAB, hosting the show. Welcome to Start Saturdays, a forum for innovators, entrepreneurs, investors, and other startup enthusiasts. This forum is organized by AHAB and our partners. AHAB is an independent Section 8 company constituted within Andhra University. We have two-part mission. One, it is a regular incubator with all the usual support services of any incubator. Two, it also leads the institution's Innovation Council of Andhra University. In its second role, AHA promotes and encourages innovation and entrepreneurship among students and faculty on campus and in the region. Before we begin, I'd like to ask everyone to introduce yourselves quickly. Do we have what do we have? Just your name and affiliation.
Good evening, myself Shrivani, and I'm a business analyst and social media internet app.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Charita. I'm an intern at AHA.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pijandu. I want to be an entrepreneur. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Myself Venkatesh, and I'm a student right now, and I'm a startup enthusiast.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rahul, and I'm a project manager at Way Design Lab.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Vaishnav, founder and head of design at Design.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Pranav, being a part of Startup Study Volunteering.
A very warm welcome to all the speakers, guests, and attendees. Thank you for joining us today. And welcome to all those joining us online. This forum's purpose is to establish and build an integrated ecosystem with a variety of supports for entrepreneurs. It is open to everyone, and we hope you all take advantage of it by participating and contributing. If you're wondering what can and does happen in these sessions, here is a brief outline. Show Me the Money. This is a segment where Charita, grants management intern, presents details about about one grant and provides dates and few details of a few other sources of money. Technical talk. Each session has a different topic, bringing in experts sharing their experience and expertise. Then we have a couple of pitches. If anybody is here to pitch your startup or idea, please send it to me or Pranav now, so that will avoid some glitches. We put in the effort to organize these and we are having fun doing so. And the more you engage, the more you derive. That has been the mantra of everything that AHAB does. Here are a few basic rules before we commence the meeting. Kindly put your mobile phones on silent mode. Please refrain from entering or exiting the session while the speaker is delivering their presentation. Please wait until the speaker concludes their session. Please refrain from crosstalk or side conversations. It is distracting. If you're pitching today and have a presentation, please send it to me or Pranav now. We run a tight program. Kindly note that the pitch is allotted a maximum time of 10 minutes. We kindly ask all presenters to adhere to the allocated time to ensure a smooth flow of the event. We request the audience to reserve your questions for designated Q&A period. Charita is here with a short presentation on incubators as financial support for startups. She has been systematically covering various sources of funding for startups. Since she has only 10 minutes here, she is writing a blog post following each of her presentations. Blogs are published at ahab.co. A-hub.co. Charita, all yours.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Charita. I'm an intern at AHUB, and since the past few sessions, we have been covering multiple sources of funding available for startups in India. Today, we'll discuss about incubators as a source of funding. So, incubators are those entities which are designed to help new businesses or upcoming innovators or startup enthusiasts who want to start a new startup and succeed by also providing a range of resources like mentorships and fostering innovation, helping them in environment, etc. So, how are they helpful? What are the different importances and services they could provide to a new startup? They'll help us in mentorship, and then some startups might also give their workspaces for startups and networking opportunities to connect with their future partners, clients, customers, or investors even. So they also help in access to funding. Not all incubators might provide them with funding sources, but they'll help them. They'll show them a way to funding, like help them in securing a venture capital, a scheme, an angel investor, or maybe a grant. So they also help by giving them training programs and workshops or seminars like business planning, marketing, maybe legal and compliance, etc. And they also help in community and collaboration by giving them a chance to go meet with other startups and know where will the startup stand in a given environment, or a market. So, and legal and accounting support. Some startups might provide legal support and accounting support for early stage companies. So, if you're a company, and how would you go and join this incubator? So, there'll be an application process where your startup has to apply for or fill a form for a particular the company, and applications require some applications might require a business plan, a pitch, proof of concept, a prototype, or like your analysis of how much your company would gain, or what is its main purpose or what is its main goal. And incubators might provide them typically up to 6 to 24 months, or like It depends upon each incubator. Some might have it for 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. So there's a specific timeline until which a company can stay with an incubator. So, and the outcome would be that the startup should have a refined business plan, a working product, any service. So it should show that okay, this is my progress during this my time in the incubator. So if you are a startup, why would you want to join an incubator? What are the benefits? So it has reduced risk and expert guidance. So let's say you're a startup and you're failing. So you don't know what to do. So you could, if you're a part of an incubator, you could go refer to the given resources and you will find out, ki, okay, this is where I'm going wrong and this is where I could do better and this is why I'm failing. So if I could do better in this particular thing, my outcome might be better. And they also have enhanced credibility and visibility. So say, like let's say situations where you're applying for a grant or a scheme. So usually incubator startups which are a part of an incubator are given more credibility that okay, there's an incubator backing up this particular startup, so I could trust them more. They're more guaranteed to give me an outcome than another one. And resource efficiency. So they also can save costs by being a part of a incubator by co-shared office spaces, tech infrastructure, and administrative support already provided by the incubator. So there's also a group of there's a community of different entrepreneurs, collaborators, and even just innovators in general who want to know. So you could, if you have an idea, go to a group of innovators, and they'll make your idea better. You guys can brainstorm together. There's already built-in community of an ecosystem where which is very helpful for you. And there's all coming to the next part. The main how will a incubator give me funding? Let's say not all incubators provide direct seed funding, but sometimes they could either give you non-equity funding or an equity funding depending upon the type of incubator and its resources it has. So let's say it has direct seed funding or grants. So as a part of AHUB almost every year it gives out under Nidhi ITBI Ignition grant, it gives out from 2 to up to 10 lakh rupees. It preferably gives to IoT related products with a physical product available. So for more details about this particular Ignition grant, you could contact our team at AHUB. And I'll give you a mail at the end which you could mail for any other queries. So coming to this, it can also provide you investor connections to angel investors, venture capitals. It can also help building your financial models or like helping you prepare a pitch for your venture capitals or angel investors. It could also provide corporate funding to start strategic partnerships and also help you get a government grant or a scheme. These are few incubators present in Visakhapatnam. The first is AHUB, the Andhra Incubation Center, and then you have NASCOM Vizag Center. You have AMTZ, it's India's first medical device park located in Visakhapatnam. You have IIM VC, which is IIM Visakhapatnam's Incubation Center. And Zamina Incubation. So, if you're a startup enthusiast or if you're a new innovator, so you must have heard a lot of people say that if you have an interest or if you have a good idea, you might succeed. That's not the only thing required. You also need opportunities. You also need support from a good investor or like a good networking system. So incubators are where you could get the good support system. So they not only give you mentorship, but they also provide you with infrastructure, networking, and sometimes very early stage funding. So as there's a launch pad for early stage startups, and knowing the importance of incubators, a lot of entities like academic institutions, corporate companies like Microsoft, Intel, Google, and even the government initiators are bringing out a lot of incubators. So coming to today's grant, we have Nidhi Prayas program initiated by DST, Government of India, aims to support innovators in transforming their ideas into a prototype. So this is given for early stage startups with hardware startups, and they gave up to 10 lakh for prototype development, and the project should be done from 1 year to 18 months. So the focus areas are manufacturing, agriculture, healthcare, clean tech, energy, water, IoT, and other technologically related startups. And they also provide extra support like access to prototyping facilities, mentorship, and networking opportunities, and any help required for business development. And if you're an innovator, you should be an Indian citizen above 18 years old, and you should not have received similar type of help from any other uh, grant or scheme. And you must have technical skills or background in technical skills. And if you're a startup, you should be an Indian company, not more than 7 years old, and your annual turnover should not be more than 25 lakhs, and you should have not received similar type of support from any other grant. So this idea is mainly for a physical prototype product, and idea should be based on technology and science. So if you have the deadline is June 18, 2025. So if you want more queries about this, you could visit the website given on the screen. If anybody wants to take a picture of the website, you guys can. Yeah, if you have any other queries, suggestions, or anything else, you could use the mail us or contact him at our. Thank you.
Thank you, Charita. Let's move on to the main part of the session today. Before I invite today's speaker, a few words about our feature session. If you're wondering how we pick our speakers for these technical sessions, here is a brief explanation. We focus at 4 levels to explore entrepreneurship and bring you the best of ideas and depth of understanding. We look at the individual, the company, the sector, and the ecosystem. Each level has a distinct set of challenges and opportunities, suitable set of skills and resources, and provides a level of understanding of entrepreneurship. If you're already an entrepreneur, these talks will help you understand the journey. If you're considering it or are just exploring, these talks will give you a great intro into the journey. Today, we will focus on the company. We all know that has been helping companies establish a brand identity for the last 6 years. Brand and experience designer and the founder of YA Studio. Is that how you say it? YA Studio, a boutique design studio. His experience includes branding, visual design, and creative strategy. Creating impactful design solutions for local and global brands, he gained deep insights into branding. Vinay holds a master's degree in experience design from Srishti Manipal Institute and a BA in visual arts from St. Joseph's College. His work is driven by empathy, innovation, and a passion for community-driven design. Let's hear his perspectives on branding for startups. Please, John.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and thank you all for coming here. Uh, I'm Vinay Vaikla. I am from Way Design Lab, and we help brands across industries from tech to food and crafting identities that connect and convert, basically. Uh, so before we dive deep into the topic, I just want to show you a small our work basically, to show you how branding works and visually how it helps brands. Thank you so much. And these are some of the brands that we work with. Like some of these are like tech startups, like especially Vector Techniques, 3M. 3M is a big company that we've been working in Bangalore. Greenco and Coromandel in Hyderabad. Am I audible? Pull it down and pull it down. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So these are some of the brands that we've been working with, and these are, I mean, across like big corporates to small startups and family-run businesses, and even hotels that newly started in Vizag. So, yeah, coming to the point, like, what comes to your mind when you hear about brand? Does anyone want to try it, or shall I continue? Okay, cool. So, yeah, brand is not logo. Where brand is emotion plus perception plus trust. And to understand that, we have to dive deeper into the process of branding. And branding is not marketing. So whenever we hear some of our clients ask us like, do you do branding? But what they mean is, do you do marketing? But there's a very clear differentiation. There are obviously overlaps between branding and marketing, but marketing is how you gain their attention, and branding is why people remember you. In simpler terms, marketing is promotion, and branding is how it feels. And if you dive deeper, all these elements come together to form the process of branding, which includes the purpose, like why we are doing what we are doing, our vision, our identity with how we look, how we present ourselves, the tone of the voice, like how we speak, and our audience, like who are we catering to, who are we targeting, and who are we serving, and our values, and what's the story of our company, like what is our story, and what do we want to achieve, like our goals. Basically, a good brand connects logically and emotionally with the audience. And now you might ask me, like, why does branding matter? And so basically, customer decides in 5 seconds if you're worth their time or not. And to do this, and that's why we need to do branding, basically to differentiate ourselves from the existing competition, to build trust and credibility, to create emotional connection with our customers, to facilitate customer recognition. Like if you are among, if you're putting a communication or a design out there, like it needs to be recognizable that, okay, this is done by a particular company or brand. To drive customer loyalty and advocacy, to support marketing efforts, and more important, to enhance our business value. And basically, consistently branding increases our revenue by 23%. It increases our perceived value. And these are some of, the key elements for brand to establish a brand is basically brand strategy, which is, talking about who are we, why are we doing what we are doing, who are our audience, our vision, our mission, all comes under strategy, and basically how we are communicating. And visual identity is basically like how we are presenting ourselves, how the character that we have, and verbal identity is basically how we are speaking, how we are communicating in terms of words and voice, and what's the experience that you want to create with your brand to your customer. And the last one is very important, which is consistency. How consistently are you repeating all the above 4 points in various places? Now, if we take an example of this, water is a very simple commodity, but still we judge them and basically decide what to use. Like if you take that rail neer, there's a lot of factors that we associate with it. Like the first thing that we come when you're buying this water in a train or something, the doubt that we get is, where is it from? There's always that trust factor. There's always that doubt that we have in that bottle, like where am I getting this water from? Whereas Bisleri, you blindly trust it. We go to shops and clearly ask for, I want Bisleri or Kinley. So there's always that legacy, and there is that trust factor that branding and overall builds for a brand. And branding, and if you take a look at the center bottle, right? Basing on the appearance of it, there's always we instantly get that trust factor. But also, like looking at our celebrities use it, the bottle becomes a desire for us. It's not just a commodity anymore; it's a desire. Like, okay, I want to be like Virat Kohli and drink this water. So that desire comes into play. So and these are some of the cases, that branding helps us distinguish amongst our audience and help us connect with our audience, basically. And as a startup and young businesses, there's it's always advisable to start branding early, because you will not have any legacy baggage. Like most of the brands that does branding, they always have this legacy baggage. Like, okay, so I am a subsidiary of a brand and I want to continue some of it to this. And that's where, most of the communication or the true authentic part of the brand gets lost in converting that idea to or communicating that to the audience. And startups always have a bigger advantage in building a brand around culture, community, and mainly authenticity. If you take example of Figma, Duolingo, and Zomato, they build their entire brand by a cult following and not just because of ads. By repeating that communication or that cult feeling consistently, they build their brands, basically. And the best example to talk about this is Liquid Death. Now, by just looking at the water, you might be getting some feelings. Oh, is it beer? What is it? Is it energy drink? But it's simple water. So now, if you just take a look at the previous water bottles and this one, it's completely different. So they're not just selling water; they're selling a rebellion. So Liquid Death, it basically turned a boring water product into a badass brand. It's it's just can water, that's branded like a heavy metal energy drink. They took cleanest product and gave it a dirtiest personality. So basically, creating that contrast is genius, and instantly stands out amongst his competitors. So, and the positioning of this brand is very bold. Their mission is to murder the thirst. So they are basically treating hydration as a villain or like a monster, and they are like rebelling against it. So what they're trying to do over here is the tone, the visual break. It's very untraditional for the FMC. It basically breaks all the FMCG rules. It targets very young crowd, which is millennials and Gen Zs, who reject greenwashing and are trying to being healthy, like boring healthy brands. And if you look at their visual identity, it's on point. Like the black, the skulls, the black can, like the tattoo style typography, it looks very beer, but it's just water. So that tone is humorous, punk. It's anti-corporate. They use satire and critique plastic waste while making others entertaining. See, now there are a lot of brands out there like Himalaya and all that they say it's very natural water, spring water, and all these things. But if you look at that message, it becomes very common if you just combine all the brands together. There's so many brands like Himalaya, like even Ecovax is part of that. But the difference between this brand is that it does the same thing. It takes mountain water but presented in different ways. So basically, they're not selling water; they're selling the moment. They're selling the concept. Uh, so because of this entire branding process, their outcome is extreme brand loyalty plus viral reach. Like they have a very loyal base customers that will never change to any other product if you give them. So they built a cult following by being unforgettable, and they raised $130 million plus in funding. Their social media has a vibe of meme page plus protest movement plus brand promo. They didn't market water; they built a movement basically. So by this we can understand that people don't buy products; they buy stories, they buy values, they buy emotions. Now, as a startup, uh, branding can be a very tedious and a rigorous process, but there are few things like in the entire process that some of the common mistakes that we when we are starting can avoid. That is being inconsistent. So this is one of the major problem for any brand, any new brands that are there in the market. So if you see especially if you see the social media channels, each creative each day post, or like there will be a lot of difference between their website and social media. So the communication that we are putting out there will not be consistent. It might be because we have a smaller team. The reason can be anything, but being inconsistent is always a killer for branding basically. And copying trends, like I know, like we get inspirations from a lot of other brands, but what might work for one particular brand will not work for another brand. So that's why we always have to be authentic, and always try to figure out what works for us by being true to ourselves, and skipping the strategy phase. Like so strategy is always the first step of the branding. Most of the people maybe enthusiasm will take over, or like the excitement of starting a new brand will take over. Like they always go to the logo first, whereas logo is just a small part of the process, and it is just a phase of our whole process. So strategy will help us give a clarity on what we want to do, to who to target, and help us answer basic questions that a business need. So never skip a strategy phase, and forgetting about verbal identity. Like especially, not just entrepreneurs. Like even when they talk to young designers, it's always about identity. The conversations always happen around identity, like how should the logo look, how it needs to feel, how it needs to look and all. But they forget the key important part, which is the verbal identity, like how we should speak to our customers, like how should our communication be, like do we have to talk like a guide, a rebel, or like a friendly manner. So verbal identity is very important. It's like almost 50% of the identity that we will be creating in the process of branding. So, so sometimes even branding can be very expensive, especially you add design process to it. But to start with, as young founders and young business owners, these are the 3 points that we can follow to strategically start with the branding process, which is don't worry about the fancy designs at the start, but we need to start with basic clarity. Like we need to ask ourselves, what do we believe in? Who we are for? Why should they care? Like why should our audience care? And the second point is we need to pick 2 to 3 core values to communicate them everywhere. Like what do you stand for? Especially the younger audience, like I think even you, if you think about yourself, like you don't want to be sold, you want to be part of something, and you want to, and there are some of the brands that you follow because you trust their values, you worship their values. So it's very important to figure out what are the values that you want to follow and you want your team to follow, so that the audience will to make your audience care basically. And always be authentic. Like I know I've been repeating this a lot. Like I said before, there is a lot of things that we can definitely take from there and put it in our brand, but it will not last because if you're not authentic to yourself and if you don't know who you are, like it's very hard to continue it and expand and basically pass on to your team, like the team below you. So it's always important to only tell and do what you believe in. Basically, in short, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. I hope that gives you some clarity on what is branding and how you can look at how you can look at branding. So if you have any questions, like I'm open to talk about it here.
So basically, what do you do?
So I'm a founder and head of design in Way Design Lab. Sorry. So I'm a founder and head of design in Way Design Lab. We basically help brands from tech to even food brands and even corporates to build identities that basically connect with the audience.
So is it applicable only for the startups or even for the established organizations also?
No, it is applicable to businesses of all sizes, but startups, the whole branding process, like people feel it's very expensive. So startups, branding for startups is always an afterthought. So they always build on their idea, their product. They always forget to integrate the thought process of branding into the mix. So it always comes in the end, and in the end, they don't focus really. So that's why I was actually focusing on how startups can look at branding and how they can begin from the beginning itself.
Okay, like other way of asking is like other than marketing, like what else you do?
No, we are entirely so as a
If the company is established.
if the branding is not a one-time process, it's basically a marathon. So it's a never-ending process. So basically it's like a reputation. You constantly show up, you constantly do activities to build that reputation. So, and to answer your question, like as you're asking about our services or like
Services.
yeah. So as a services, like we do the brand activation phase also, like after the whole branding process, like what are the communications that need to be printed and all these things. And we also do POSMs and the marketing communications, which is like brochures, flyers, and all these things, all the print material. And we also work on the overall experience of the brand, like how should the brand feel, how should it, what kind of experience it need to provide. Like that experience can be physical and digital. So it includes websites, like product, and all these things. So yeah.
Can we go back to the first or second slide where you had several logos and said, let's try something? Yeah, yeah. No, okay. After the video. Or next-
Yeah, this is one. This one?
one.
Yeah.
What comes to your mind? You wanted us to do something. What did you have in mind?
I just wanted to guess, like, what are the words that comes to your mind when you hear brand, like, or when you talk about brand in general, like, so yeah.
So, given what you have here,
Mhm.
what's the role of, I don't know what to call it, tagline? Nike, just do it.
Yeah.
Can you say something about it?
Yeah. So I mean, before I talk about tagline, so like, see, just looking at Nike, you got that just do it. So that's like Nike building itself, or like I can say like in the years of branding activities that they did, even just with a tick mark, it's Nike, and you get that tagline like just do it. So those are the kind of associations that we as a brand will build over time. And just do it is basically, again, like it's their value system. They don't care if you're winning or losing, they just want us to do it. So that's one of the value that they're communicating through that tagline basically.
Hi.
Right.
How should a brand should position itself in market? Brand position.
Yeah. So yeah, if you look at all this, right, like, so before asking about positioning, right, we need to be very clear on what is our purpose, like why are we doing what we are doing, and also like it's like how are we doing it. Basing on this, obviously, and also basing on your goals, the story, basically your story will be your positioning this thing. So for example, like you can give me any brand example, then I can talk about it maybe.
Starbucks.
Okay, so if you see Starbucks, right, they're positioned themselves as a cafe. They're never focused on coffee much. They're more focused on the experience that their cafe gives. Uh, so basically, they're positioning themselves as a space that nurtures creative energy, or that nurtures the ideas basically. So so Starbucks is positioning itself as a nurturer for ideas basically, like because if you go and see the kind of environment that they have, and the people that sit there and work, um, it's you can always feel that energy, that it can be creative, or that rush of working, like all these things. So if you compare to other cafes, that they're positioning themselves as nurture for ideas, whereas if you take any coffee house, if you take Beanboard over here, they're positioning themselves as a space for young people to come and hang out basically. So if you ask me how these positioning, the whole process happens, right, we need to answer, or we need to have all these points in place, because only then we can derive insights, how we are different from others, and also it based on a value, like what are the values that we want to put forward. So by answering all this, only like we'll be able to find the different, that USP, that factor that differentiates us from the others, and that's where we can build a story and position ourselves in the market basically.
Tell me about your own branding.
You want to talk about our
Yeah.
Yeah, where is the name coming from?
Yeah. So, so way is basically, firstly, it's an absolute spelling for way, like saying people the other way, and it's also half of my initial, which is Vaitla, Vaitla. So deriving from that, we added this, and if you look at our logo, I mean, I intentionally didn't put our logo here, but um, a logo is basically in three languages, like in Telugu, English, and Hindi, like all the languages being part of that logo. So the reason we actually recently changed it. So the reason we changed it like that is because we were arriving into a problem where people are mispronouncing the name. So we wanted to solve that problem at the same time when we are figuring out a strategy part. Also, we wanted to have that local elements of and also represent India basically, because our goal is to expand internationally, and we were visualizing that. So to have that authenticity of India, and also to basically solve that problem, we included Hindi and Telugu also, so that if people doesn't know how to pronounce English, they can just read the Telugu and Hindi, because it's only one single letter, so they can pronounce and they get the name right. So yeah, that's how we designed the logo. But if you have to talk about our brand overall, we are still building it because we are very new in the market. But you can, I mean, especially if you come to our office, or like the works that we did, you can instantly feel the connection with two things. One is coffee, the other one is Indian village patterns, because our office is completely made with uh, some of the very common pattern that you see in village households. So especially that zigzag pattern, and the whole color scheme. I mean, even this color scheme. I don't know, the colors are a little different on the screen, but if you see these color schemes, we try to incorporate elements of coffee into this, because one of our partner, he's a coffee influencer, and he's a very coffee enthusiast. So all put together, we have designed this color scheme and branding. I mean, the visual identity in total. Yeah. So yeah.
Hi, Vinay.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you for coming and taking this session. But whatever you've done today is just like an introduction.
Yeah.
Since you're bringing up coffee so much, maybe a sip of coffee now that you know that. Let's have more.
Yeah.
To, with a bow to our native Arku coffee. This is a session. I believe that the people who are attending this particular Startup Saturdays, these meetings, are enthusiasts of startups. For some reason, they want to be a part of the startup environment.
Mhm.
So, you've already done a half-day session earlier as a workshop, but do you think that we need a whole day to do a session for a bunch of startups coming together and practicing? Because whatever people are thinking right now
Mhm.
seems to be that, okay, I understand that it's not as big, as expensive as I thought it is, and I need to start,
Yeah.
but I don't know where to start. And most people don't start until somebody gives them a small push or at least a pull.
Yeah.
So, shall we do a session, a full day session?
Yeah, definitely.
Workshop.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Because what we presented today is based, like I can say it's only like 0.5%, like just to give a clear understanding of what is branding, because there is, I mean, there is always this confusion, even amongst design industry, like what is branding exactly. So I just wanted to give a clear picture, so that people, or when they're starting their own businesses, they can think of this and integrate in the beginning itself, rather than doing it at the end. Yes, and we can definitely do a one full day workshop, because like you see, like when we start with the brand strategy and how to name your brand, and to start with the whole identity process in itself is very tedious, and the whole conversations normally take up to 2 months to 3 months minimum, like to the whole process to happen. So yeah, like one day workshop will be perfect, to give them more insights on how the whole process happens and how they can effectively start with the branding process.
Thank you.
So thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity. And in case if you want to connect anytime, so here are my details. So yeah, thank you.
Mike. Mike, please. Sure.
Thank you, Vinay. You were traveling or you were going to travel tomorrow?
No, I came back.
You just came back. So Vinay had a very busy schedule and he had a very short time actually to prepare for this. And he asked me, what exactly are we expecting here? And I told him, just give us just a sense of what you do and the sense of branding and the importance of it. And that will be useful. And thank you for what you did. It was really useful. Do we have any pitches today? Nobody's here to pitch. Any idea pitches? Okay. If we don't have any pitching, there is a session called open mic session. If you have any ideas that you want to share, if you have any thoughts you want to share about startup universe, anything that you want to share with the crowd, now is the time. If you're working on an idea, if you're curious about something, about AHA or about any. Okay. All right. If nothing, then we will move to the closing of the session. We hope you enjoyed it. Here is a way to tell us. Please scan it and send us feedback. We take it seriously. It's a short survey. This show is sponsored by Andhra University Incubation Council in partnership with several entities. It is run by volunteers. Show Me the Money is brought to you by Charita, a second year MBA student first year MBA student. I made that mistake last time. First year MBA student at the Department of Commerce and Management Studies AU. Show notes are done by Srivani, business analyst at VILS AI. Technical support is provided by Pranav, fourth year student at CSE Engineering College AU. Mr. Srinivas Savaram, Executive Director of TIE Vizag, and myself curate the show. There is obviously more to this effort than that meets the eye. This is a labor of love, and we will continue to improve on what our predecessors built. Support is always needed. If somebody wants to engage, please contact us. Now, Srinivas, please take over for announcements if you have any. We have the same slides because we don't have any new. Okay.
That's fine. Good afternoon. The first things first, we have a workshop series that we have done last year, and we are continuing. Let me do this. We are continuing that this year. What we have done is we are rolling 3 workshops, the third, fourth, and fifth into one. That's happening on the 27th, 28th, and 29th of May. All of these workshops, these workshops are paid. You need to pay, they are not free, but it's heavily discounted, 1,000 rupees per day, 3 days, 3,000. But if you want to come in and join us for all 3 days, then it is only 1,500, 50% discount offered by our hub.
Yes.
And for students, it is only 250 rupees for all 3 days, or if you become a TIE student member with 1,000 rupees as the annual membership, then it's free. You don't have to pay anything at all. That's thank you. Yeah, don't. That QR code is wrong. The one that is earlier shown in the list is the right one. If anybody is interested, please contact me and I'll share the new QR code. Apologies for that. Then the second thing that is actually happening much sooner than this happens to be, yeah, fine, that's fine. So we have a hackathon on IT as a theme this time, and I want to appreciate okay. I want to appreciate the support of Savvy IT's founder, Ramurthy, for giving so many problem statements. We took 3 of them. Thank you. And so a total of 6 problem statements have been given. You can register for it. Today, 9 p.m. is the deadline. Once you register, you have another 3 days before you need to submit your POC, prototype, or an MVP. Once you do that, we will go through that as selection committee and call the top 15 to 25 teams to participate in the hackathon. The finals of the hackathon will be on the 25th of May, Sunday 25th of May, from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. depending on the number of teams. We have a large number of teams 5 p.m. Otherwise, we might conclude sooner, and including lunch, of course. And this is free. You can participate in the hackathon for free, and we would welcome people to come and participate in this. We get school students who already signed up. Those are the first couple of people who signed up without seeing the problem statements. So, people in college, I think you have a challenge in your hands. Then tomorrow from 10 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. there is a Thai Young Entrepreneur finals, chapter finals pitching competition that's happening at the AHUB. These are students from 9th to 12th grade who have gone through an exercise on Thai, who've gone through an exercise on Thai, on entrepreneurship, an entire workshop series. And now it's their pitching time. The winners and the runners-up are going to go to Delhi next month to participate in a TYE Globals, where similar students, high school students, 9th to 12th graders, are going to participate from all over the world and go with some prizes, with recognition, and maybe even some investment. Then, that's right.
Yeah, see the date is
No.
confusing.
Sorry, I'm confusing everybody here. This is the next coming up information technology.
Yeah.
Why, what did you put up?
It is
The
the
one that life sciences one also has 25th May as date.
sorry, that was an old name. That is on the presentation.
So, one of the things that we have been doing as a part of these efforts is to encourage innovation. Our hackathons, our ideathons, the young entrepreneurs. There's a TIU competition that's coming up that I need to talk about. I don't have a poster, but I'll put it out in our social media. We'll talk about the TIU, but one of the things that we are doing is we want to encourage innovation, either your product or service that you would like to showcase. So on the 21st of June, our second demo days event is going to happen right here from 2 to 5:30. You can think of it as an expanded version of our Startup Saturdays. From 2 to 4, where you will have exhibitors, anywhere from 6 to 8 chosen startups, chosen innovators presenting their product or service in the room next door. And we will be having a pitch competition for startups that are interested in pitching in front of mentors, investors, and the general public to get feedback. like what we are expecting here, but in that case, there will also be a couple of people who will be ready to mentor and a few who might actually invest because we will have those people also. If you want to participate in that, this is a leaked poster. The current poster out on social media just says registration and it will open up shortly. This one is actually giving you the QR codes to register, so you can register early. Then the one that I wanted to talk about, anyone, if you're a startup and you're working if you're a student and you have a startup and you happen to be in a college or university, then there is this competition called TIU. It's actually a mix of a competition as well as mentorship that we encourage you to participate. We have a couple of universities that have been and a couple that are continuing to be a part of our institutional membership. This is a part of the TIE program. That's why the TIU. And startups, if you are not affiliated to a university that's an institutional member, then we expect you to become a student member by paying 1,000 rupees per head to become a student member, and then you can participate in the pitching competition. If you are a student member of those universities, GITAM, IIAM, and RVR and JCE right now, and most likely WITEC will continue, then you don't have to because that institution has already become a member, so you will not have to pay any additional fee. You can just be a part of that. The TIU competition is, the registration deadline is 31st of May, and we will not be having a startup Saturdays meeting before that. So I will post the details in the Startup Saturdays WhatsApp group as well as a social media, and you can please register using that. Thank you for that's the QR code that will quickly help you Linktree code for all our TIE handles. Yeah, two other things. So since when I did a session on branding and hopefully covered with design also, as some of you might be aware, we have a design community that we are creating, primarily focusing on UI UX, but not necessarily limited to that. That meets every other Thursday, and the next meeting is happening next Thursday from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. at the AHUB. If you're interested, again contact me or Devakar, and we will be able to help you with more information. We have also created a community for research. We are creating a community for people who are interested in research. If you are interested in research and want to know more and where to get started, then every Monday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the AHUB, we meet and we discuss each other's progress, challenges, share information. Primarily, it started off as how do we help people publish papers, but thanks to him, we are making it a community where people come in and contribute. And by the way, it's not a workshop, it's not a lecture, it's not something where, including the design meeting, they are not lectures, they're not sessions where you come and listen and take notes. It's all about exchange of ideas and it's building a community. So there's no professor or lecturer or big speaker coming and giving you gyan. There will be knowledge, but it's both ways. Okay? Thank you.
You can join us on WhatsApp, follow us, like us. Oh, this is join us on WhatsApp. There is a group for Startup Saturdays. All the announcements are announced there, and there is a lively conversation sometimes. But please refrain from posting good morning, good evening messages. No birthday wishes. No happy Vinayak Chaturthi. No happy Diwali.
No
Or for
forward.
that matter, any festival.
No forwards either.
No forwards. No advertising. No marketing. No seeking internships or interns. So this is startup related conversations only. And we are pretty picky on what gets on there, so we delete immediately if there is something irrelevant. So don't take offense to that, but we are trying to monitor that as much as we can. If you still like us, you can follow us and subscribe to what we are doing. So, as strict as we are nice people. Our next session of Startup Saturdays will be first Saturday of June. In half an hour, we will have been there, done that, a conversation with Sivakumar Gunturu, founder and CEO of Maple Software. His workforce of 1,700 employees are spread across over a dozen countries, and his company serves 60 clients globally, providing software solutions, BPO services, and a range of other services to the hospital industry. He had his ups and downs as an entrepreneur. Join us to listen to his reflections on a lonely journey of an entrepreneur. Thank you all for another wonderful session of Startup Saturdays. Let us join together for a group picture in front. Please be here in the group picture so we can mark whoever came in late on the picture when we post it.
Can I just
Yeah.
share a few things about my startup as a part of Open Mic? Can I?
Okay. Yeah. Almost there, but
You waited until we closed it and then when he offered you
No, I
to
was
take it
actually
off.
waiting for it. But
He offered
I said
you.
yeah,
open
it
mic.
is going so fast, I really couldn't catch it up. I was late.
Slow down, you're going
I
too
have
fast for
to
youngsters.
speak very slowly. Okay.
Hello everyone, myself I'm Ritika Surisetti. I'm a food technologist, recently graduated, and also a founder of Retreat, that is a pet food product that we are developing upon. We stand apart by right now the commercially available pet food use the meat, highly rely on meat. So we want to replace the meat by using the plant-based alternatives. So we are building a brand, Retreat, which offers a pet food brand where we create the food using plant-based. So currently we are a cohort at VHub in Telangana government, that is at Hyderabad. And also we are part of NMRI, National Meat Research Institute. We are currently working on the prototype. We have completed the first iteration, but for the further one, we are expecting a little bit of equipment and all that, which are not offered there. So we are looking for any alternative spaces and incubations and all that. That brings me here. That if any support in this regard will be a great help for us. Thank you.
Sure, I will speak slowly. Thank you. Yes.
He kept seeing name, please, probably. There is Professor Ravikiran right next door who works in the zoology department building. He has an organization called ECAPC that does a lot of biochemical, life sciences. You might want to talk to him. He's not directly dealing with food, as far as I know, but since they're making vaccines that can be ingested through yogurt, you might find some help over there. The other one is Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone in near the steel plant. That's a huge area. They also are looking for and promote startups and technology. This might be their field, I don't know, because it's not medical, but that's another source.
Okay. Thank you. Let's all get together for a picture so we can mark all of those who are late. Well,
Thank you.
నేను